Welcome back to my channel. My name is Adam of Moonlight Productions. One of the most extensive tasks in the world is running a business. Unfortunately, according to several sources, America isn't the most highly ranked country when it comes to running a business. Numbers differ from source to source, but the United States is ranked around 15th out of all world countries. While it isn't the most significant number to have, it isn't a slouch. Since the 1990s, around 20% of all new businesses failed during the first 2 years, around 45% failed during the first 5 years, and 65% failed during the first 10 years. In addition, the United States has some locations that make running a business feel like a third world country, with all the whack job laws and regulations people have to follow to run a business and hopefully turn a profit. However, the United States is also a country with many locations across the country that promote entrepreneurial work. It might be the ability to start a business, the taxes the state brings to the table, or the laws help to promote companies and other individuals. So after we looked at some of the worst states to run a business, it is just as important to look at the flip side of the quarter and see what states in the US are best for the entrepreneurial.
Ohio. The Buckeye State may not be the bee's knees of a place to live, but running a business will function and can be started. They may not have a grand cost of living, the taxes are also pretty moderate, so they don't have the most luxurious wages at around $56,000. The Fiscal Freedom Index in Ohio is ranked 23rd out of the nation, and the GDP in Ohio is 6.4% from the first quarter of 2021. We are just getting started, so there will be better places to analyze for this 10-ish minute video. Arizona. There's not a lot to complain about in the state of Arizona. The state is being flocked by an incredible amount of disheveled Californians. Meanwhile, the cost of living in the state is relatively low, with a mixture of relatively low taxes, along with a GDP growth rate of 7.4% from the first quarter of 2021. As a result, Arizona has become one of the fastest growing states in the U.S. The median household income in Arizona is fairly good, at around almost $59,000 a year, which is about middle of the road for all U.S. states. However, the Economic Freedom Index is around 18th in the nation. Nevertheless, it is still booming in Arizona, which is why people are flocking to the state. Georgia. There's a reason Californians and New Yorkers are moving to Georgia. Excluding those two states, Georgia is one of the best places in the nation to join the film industry. In addition, you get significant tax benefits if you shoot and produce your film in Georgia. As a result of those benefits, the third largest economy in Georgia is the film industry. Once you get past some of the significant taxes in Georgia, wages are also getting higher in the state, just lower than Arizona at $58,000. The Fiscal Freedom Index in Georgia is being placed 15th out of all 50 states, along with a GDP growth rate of 7%. Georgia has been lately a migration hotspot for many Americans. Nevada. Another popular destination for Californians, as the state's residents don't complain much about the taxes in Nevada because they don't have to pay an income tax in the state. Most residents also get away with this because of all the crazy gambling that goes on in the Las Vegas metro area. After getting past the friendly taxes, Nevada has a solid average household income of $60,000. The Fiscal Freedom Index in Nevada is ranked 20th best in the nation, which also helps as Nevada is the state that is becoming quite popular with foreign residents. The future in Nevada is also looking bright, as Nevada has the number one state for GDP as the rate is 10.9%. But of course you have to put up with some of the crazy gambling advertisements that go on in Nevada, so it could be much worse. South Carolina. The Palmetto State is getting more attention from different companies and is growing rapidly, though it isn't as fast growing as another Carolina coming up. South Carolina has a lot of minuscule taxes along with meager corporate taxes. The median household income in South Carolina is just over $53,000. While it is lower than the U.S. average, like the state of Ohio, you don't need to be killing it in the salary department if you want to have a comfortable living. The Fiscal Freedom Index in South Carolina is ranked at 36 in the nation, which is much lower than the national average for new businesses in the U.S. The South Carolina GDP is 6.6%. While it could be positioned a lot lower than it should, that shouldn't be a disclaimer for anyone who wants to move to the state. They're doing a lot of right things when it comes to a more comfortable economic future. Indiana. My next door neighbor to the east has become one of the most popular locations for my fellow Prairie State, Illinois residents who are tired of the nonsense the state has. Indiana reminds people of that Midwest charm Illinois has, without the bloated nonsense Illinois brings to the table. One of the things Indiana has is much lower taxes than all the residents, either large or small employers, high-income earners, or low-income earners. Speaking of income, the median household income in Indiana is $56,000 a year, which is not a crazy number, but it's all uphill from here. The Fiscal Freedom Index in Indiana is ranked 10th out of all 50 states, a respectful number to have under your belt. Meanwhile, the GDP growth rate in Indiana is 6.8%. While Indiana has some issues that need to be solved, there are some really scary cities in the state. However, there's no denying Indiana is doing a lot of good for the ordinary person. North Carolina. One of the fastest growing states in the country, North Carolina has been focusing on being more entrepreneurial while attracting a younger workforce, resulting in North Carolina being ranked as one of the best states in the nation. North Carolina is also being frequently brought up as one of the best states to start a new business in the U.S. The median household income in North Carolina is ranked at $54,000 a year. While it isn't the lowest on the list, the cost of living is so low that it doesn't tarnish the lower than normal wage. The Fiscal Freedom Index is being positioned at 25th in the nation. Meanwhile, the GDP in North Carolina is 6.5%, a reasonably decent rank. In addition, North Carolina has gained a congressional district in the recent 2020 census, so it won't be a shocker that North Carolina will continue to get attention. Tennessee, one of my favorite states on this list. Tennessee continues to get a lot of good industry in the state as one of the most business-friendly in the nation. There's no income tax in Tennessee, meaning you keep what you make. Tennessee does have one issue, and that Tennessee has one of the lowest median household incomes in the nation, and the lowest on this list, at just over $53,000 a year. But the cost of living is so respectful, I'll overlook it. The Fiscal Freedom Index in Tennessee is being ranked 3rd in the nation, which is pleasant for everyone, and the GDP is relatively high at 7.4% in the state of Tennessee. It's a charming combination of cost of living and taxes. After that, there's so much to look forward to, so Tennessee needs to be on everyone's mindsets. Florida. Considering Florida is one of the fastest growing states in the nation, it's no shocker that this state would be on the list. Another positive start is that Florida, like Tennessee, does not have an income tax in the state. It is also quite open business friendly. Also, unlike a lot of other states in the country last year, Florida decided to not shut the state down during the unfortunate problems that started last year. Making businesses and people happy is a good start. The median household income in Florida is $55,000 a year. The best part of Florida is the Fiscal Freedom Index, which is ranked 1st in the nation. Along with Florida's Freedom Index, Florida has a GDP growth rate of 7%. No income tax, wild seniors, great weather, and open for business. I might have to start adding Florida to my list of places to live, but I'm honestly a cold person, so it's sort of a deal breaker for me. Texas. Easily one of the most popular states right now to live in America, Texas has all the right stats in all the right places, and that's easy to see. Texas has had so many people coming in that Texas gained 2 seats in the House of Representatives in the 2020 census. Texas also has many industries that need to be filled, so businesses are flocking to the state. The state, like Florida, hey, that's 3 states in a row now. Anyway, Texas doesn't have an income tax, along with no corporate taxes in the state, so being tax-friendly is just one thing. The median household income in Texas is $61,000 a year, which is pretty strong with some buying power. The Fiscal Freedom Index is ranked 7th in the nation. The only bad part about Texas I could find was the GDP growth rate, which is shockingly only 4.3%. Second lowest in the nation if you include Washington, D.C. I don't know. I expected this to be a moderate or in the upper half. I at least expected this result, so there could be much talk about Texas being an economic powerhouse in the U.S. Texas is a place you should consider moving to. The Lone Star State is a place you will not regret. Thank you all for watching. I am always searching to create more content in a fun and educational way. If you would, please subscribe to Moonlight Productions. Please like or share this video if you found it educational or entertaining. Thank you so much for your time and take care of yourself. Bye!